I am a public servant. I'm here to serve the public. There are people that I am held accountable to. You know, tenacity is part of politics. And so you've got to run, lose. Many times it's just to ensure that people understand who you are. The moment I decided I was going to run for public office was back in 2006, after the midterm elections. And it was pretty neat because I had actually never thought about running for office. 2 months later, I was running for Congress as the youngest congressional candidate in America. When I'm invited into people's lives, either via social media or many times it's literally to fish fries at churches, birthday parties, a whole variety of events that we try to make sure we're present at and really be part of the family. There is a lot of wisdom in a good defeat can be better than a bad victory. And how we lost, I took a lot of pride in. First, we were able to get more votes than anybody ever has in that district on my side of the aisle against the incumbent. But more importantly, we were able to run a campaign our way. We never said anything negative about the other side. It was truly grassroots. We were organizing from the ground up. And we held true to our principles and the values of our campaign. And there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in it. And there's a lot of learning. So it took me a few years before I then ran again for office. As I walk into the House chamber, it never gets old. It's pretty cool every time, especially when I sit down at my chair and I look at the buttons, yay or nay. In those two buttons lies justice, and it really is a powerful moment, and I never forget that. And there are only a handful of times each session where we're really tested. There's nothing like the feeling of having someone who needs help and has genuinely felt as though you've done everything you can to help them. And that's very empowering for them to feel like somebody actually cares. That drives me to really feel as though I can empower people by letting them feel like they have a real, genuine voice. There are a lot of people that are suffering every single day. And every day we don't figure these problems out, another day goes by and more people are suffering. So remembering that on a regular basis really is a sharp reminder for me as to why I'm sitting in this seat. The economic injustice, the lack of fairness that we have in the richest country in the world is something that hits my district pretty hard. Think of the despair you've ever felt when you felt that someone was not helping you or you didn't have anyone to help you. So, again, being able to empower and be someone's voice while we can't solve all their problems, it certainly gives us purpose. When I am faced with difficult times, I actually usually remember the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. At the heart of empathy isn't necessarily agreeing, it's listening and trying to genuinely understand where someone is coming from. And people actually are not so much interested on whether or not you agree with them. They're wanting to know if you're going to show them enough dignity and respect to just listen to them and really realize where they're coming from. First thing that really helped me was as a child starting in a one-bedroom apartment. My parents had a convenience store, and I was working in a convenience store from the age of 5. Didn't matter who walked in, rich, poor, black, white. You learn to relate to folks where they're at. And I think that kind of transcends everything else.
How do you connect with your constituents?
How do I not is probably the bigger answer. When you're in elected office, you're surrounded with power. And so every single day, people are suffering and they are counting on me to be their voice here every single day. And so we have to always remind ourselves that the people put us here. In order to be elected, my district doesn't have a lot of people that look like me. It's been harder for me for sure being the first Muslim ever elected to anything here in Virginia. The fact is we prove that it's possible. And that's something to be commended here in our country, that people from all walks of life can be involved And that's not the case even in some developed countries. You'd be surprised how quickly our identities evaporate when we're able to connect with people on a very personal level. And I think that our republic was created in a way that is meant to be as inclusive as possible, but the principles are still the same. As a proud Muslim American, I'm very proud to be able to be elected to defend the Virginia and U.S. constitutions. There are so few people that are fighting this fight on a regular basis on the inside. Every day I wake up and that same passion just drives me over and over